In this episode, we venture on an epic journey deep into the untamed wilderness of Alaska, where we encounter some awesome people who've carved out their lives in one of the most remote and rugged corners of the earth. For about 4 months now, we've been sailing through the wilds of Alaska. Along the way, we've met some fascinating people who have invited us to join them in all kinds of adventures. But to be honest, we spend a lot of the time in solitude, anchored in the most remote coves, surrounded by nothing but glaciers, bears, and more mosquitoes than you could ever imagine. We've come to understand what it truly means to live in harmony with nature, in its most authentic and simple form. For many, this might seem like a challenge, but for us, it's been the happiest time of our lives.
Alaska! No way.
We've used icebergs to keep our refrigerator cold. We've collected drinking water from the rivers and waterfalls. Fish, mushrooms, and berries became our main food. All of this turned out to be an unexpected reality. Realizing how much we've loved living in harmony with nature, we knew that Alaska was home to many people who embrace a similar lifestyle, hoping they might share some wisdom with us in the future. So we set out to find these wilderness dwellers. Wilderness dwellers? Sounds pretty wild, doesn't it? And so, we returned to Seward, back where our adventure first began. With autumn in full swing, we didn't waste any time. We found the right vehicle and hit the road. At the turn of the 20th century and for the following 8 decades, the government offered Alaskan land to anyone that could pay $3 a hectare. However, the reality of this, it wasn't as easy as many had thought. You know, no electricity, no water, surrounded by impenetrable forests and swamps. Life was a lot harder than any gave it credit for. Most gave up, but a few true pioneers overcame every obstacle. These brave individuals not only survived, but continued to live on their land, embodying the spirit of perseverance and resilience, true symbols of Alaskan pioneering spirit. It's with these people that we decided to meet up with. You know what time it is? Time to ask you to hit that subscribe button.
It helps more than you think.
All right, back to the episode.
Well, this is Steve and Joy Hobbs, and we're in Salina, Alaska. This is on our homestead. We've been here for 35 years.
These hardy souls live right at the foot of the Wrangell St. Elias, North America's largest national park, and one of the most striking landscapes you'll ever see.
In 1983, the government opened up 12,000 acres here through the Bureau of Land Management and offered it to the American people to come out and build a livable dwelling, maybe start a business, and then you could acquire the land up to 80 acres.
How does the land look like when you came?
It looked like that over there. It was all trees and all.
It was scrubby and ugly and
Beautiful.
However, there's no such thing as a free lunch, and of course the government had their own rules in order for you to get the land. As Steve explained, you had to build a house, live in it for up to 3 years, and actively use the entire plot for a business that, within 5 years, had to become profitable. Only then could you apply for ownership of the land.
A lot of work. Steve dedicated 3 years not working anywhere else but just working here so that we could get the land. I mean, he built cabins and trails and did improvements, and we used to walk in over a mile, and we had no electricity. All of our water we had to carry.
And that's why, there was a flood of people that came here. I've heard numbers everywhere from 500 to 700 people, and I don't know if there's 20 original homesteaders left now.
Steve is deeply in love with Alaska and has always wanted to share its beauty with others. So when he requested the largest plot of land available, he knew he wanted to build small cabins for tourists and create trails throughout the area. In the beginning, business was tough. Without a phone or internet, it was hard for people to find out about them. And tourists had to hike several kilometers from the road along a narrow path, hoping there would be a place to stay in the end. But over the years, things got easier, and now they have visitors from all over the world that come to visit this hidden gem. So this is the last one?
This should be the last one, yeah. And these trees all came from down here when I was building the ponds, so I thought it was just appropriate. They belong back down here, and I'm hoping to set it up with hydroelectric, so it'll be a little self-sufficient.
A big part of it is our lifestyle and how we live. It just blows people away because they come from cities, and they don't often see people living so close and connected with nature. And a lot of the people from Spain, there's tears in their eyes when they leave, because there is a real connection that happens here, and it's very memorable for them. We get lots of letters from people and little gifts in the mail, and I don't know, we feel like we've made a difference in their life.
So we have a his and hers garden, so it prevents arguments.
Steve and his wife Joy live off the land, hunting, trapping, fishing, growing their own vegetables, and only venturing into town for the essentials, like coffee, wine, and donuts.
Yeah, we're blessed to be in such a wonderful wilderness area that is pristine.
We would have loved to stay with them longer, but we have to keep moving. Our next stop is in the middle of nowhere.
Let me introduce you to the wildest but the most friendly person we have ever met. Meet Mark.
From the road where we left our car, we began our journey along a narrow trail. At first, I tried to memorize the way, but I gave up as soon as one path led to another, and then another, and so on. Along the way, Mark shared incredible stories about encounters with bears, his friendship with birds, and much more. Finally, we arrived at his home.
Hi, I'm Mark Vale, and I'm sitting here outside my house 10 miles out of McCarthy, Alaska, in the middle of the Wrangell-St. Elias National Park and Preserve. And I've lived here for 37 years. I've been solar powered for 30 years. About 80% of my livelihood comes directly off the land. Hunting a moose occasionally, ice fishing on some of the local ponds, picking berries and mushrooms. So I've tried all these different things, like making this chair, you know. It's like I could make my living making chairs and people would buy them. It's like I would ride down the road with a piece of furniture on my back on my bicycle. I wouldn't even get it to my friend's shop to sell it. People were like, I'll buy that. You know? It's like the idea that there's a resource that is available and it could be the basis of a lifestyle. So I pursued that goal. We didn't have enough heat to grow hot peppers this summer, just green. That's a purple jalapeno, and I used up what grew already canning. There's a few. So this is where I grow the greens that I take to town. Again, it's mostly harvested, but you could still eat out of there for a month. But I had to put up this moose-proof fence. The cow moose kept jumping the 6-foot fence, so I had to make it an 8-foot hurdle to, and it actually worked.
Honestly, he's like a living Wikipedia. He knows every little leaf, every berry in this area.
Mark is also deeply committed to the future of our planet. That's why, despite his wild lifestyle, he's actually a member of numerous environmental organizations. He gives lectures in schools and in the summer hosts camps for the kids right by his home, where he teaches them about protecting nature.
Yes, I am connected to the big world. If you're not paying attention, then people can bulldoze, you know, your livelihood. I just try to change it either for the good or for a stable state that, you know, other people can enjoy it. Well, there's peace and quiet out here. It's like we're all quiet right now. I can hear leaves falling over there. I can hear the Nazina River a mile away. You know, in the wintertime, I can hear ravens flapping their wings half a mile away. I've learned to enjoy that. It's like, to me, that's one of the most special resources here, is the quiet. My friends look at me as like, man, there's the Mr. Wilderness, you know, he's out there living the dream life, you know, but it's my dream life. It's not everyone's dream life. You know, it's like I've been there. It's like I was a depressed teenager, you know, and it's like I decided, it's like, okay, I just need to engage in something. Like I'm going to engage in my own life, you know, I'm going to do what it takes to live.
When we set out to meet him, I expected to find a hermit, someone who had chosen a life of isolation and shunned human contact. In fact, I wasn't super eager to go, thinking we might disturb his peace. But instead, we met the most open, kind-hearted, and well-educated person with a fantastic sense of humor. He told us, "I live so that when I die, I leave no trace on this planet." But we know that Mark will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact. Not a physical one, maybe, but the kind that will be remembered for a long time to come.